What if Team Cherry hired me for sound design? In Hollow Knight, sound is never just a sound. It tells you what something is made of, how it moves, and how dangerous it might be. Trobio is known as the master of the stage, the brush, and the voice. He uses fireworks and lots of sparkles in his acts. He feels unstable, dramatic, and arrogant, but essentially, he is a butterfly. So, let's dive in and see what moves he has.
Trobbio!
The first thing we see when we enter the stage is a set of burning flames. So, let's create that sound. We'll call it Intro Flames. First, I recorded the sound of a kitchen gas stove. Then, I added different fire sounds to build texture and depth. After that, I added an initial flame burst to give it a strong, dramatic start. And then, suddenly, Trobio bursts onto the stage, making an epic entrance surrounded by fireworks. We are going to need some sparkles. Explosion. More sparkles and fireworks. Okay, let's hear what we've created so far. Cool, I'm happy with that. Let's now focus on his first attack. We'll call it Firework Balls. Trobio throws 3 balls that bounce a few times, then stop in midair and begin releasing sparkles. This is a crucial sound cue because it warns the player that an explosion is about to happen. We're going to need several different sounds for this attack. First, we need the sound of Trobio throwing the balls, including the throw itself and the sparkle or smoke trail coming from them. We'll start with the throw. It's a simple swing sound effect. And for the sparkle, I stacked a few layers. Nothing too crazy. It does the job, and that's exactly what we needed. Next, we need a sound for the balls bouncing off the ground. I imagine they're made of some kind of metal since they explode, so I recorded some objects I had lying around. We also need to add some pitch variation so it doesn't feel robotic. Yep, that's it. Nothing spectacular. We also need a sound for the moment they stop in midair and release a burst of sparkles, followed by the explosion itself. For the sound when the player gets hit, I added layers that suggest danger, because this is the moment where we're losing HP. And if you played Silksong, you know you are never going to have enough of HP. Okay, I think it sounds good. Let's see it in action. Now, let's see how I created his Whirlwind attack. I took sound of the wind and pitch shift start and the end of the sample. It already gave me good result because it has good starting and ending. After that, I did some panning, added some compression, a little bit of chopping, and subtle short reverb. This was a great starting point. Now I added extra layers to support it. And together, and also need to create that dash move. We also need to remember the sound that plays when we're hit. So basically, when I'm creating sounds, I usually know what I want them to sound like, but I'm not always sure how to get there. Most of the time, it's a trial and error process until it clicks. I reused the sound we made for the Whirlwind so it feels connected. And with a few extra layers, we end up with this. Okay, let's see what we're still missing. We need a sound for this, him jumping in the air. We're also missing 2 small tornadoes coming out of him. Okay, we've got multiple firework explosions and him jumping. We can reuse the jump sound from the beginning when he enters the stage. Now he jumps under the stage, so we need a sound for that, plus the movement while he's traveling underneath and then coming back out. He's flying here, so we need to create a flying sound as well. Okay, let's go. Let's start with the flying. At the beginning, we have a jump. I layered 3 samples, a swing, a sand sound, and a whoosh. They blend together pretty nicely. After that, I recorded a few things. I think I used some paper, cloth, or whatever I could swing through the air, and then I picked what worked best for the scene. I also did some volume automation on sparkler and chime samples to follow the movement of Trobio's wings. And landing. Next up, big fireworks. I started by layering different firework spark sounds. After that, I synced firework explosions with animations. And then I beef them up with low-end impacts to give the blasts additional weight. Moving on to the stage sounds. First up is the floor-in sound when Trobbio jumps onto the stage. I split it into two main elements. The first is a beefy, impactful hit that sells the physical drop. The second element is more airy and magical. After that, he travels under the stage. The whole sequence reminds me of those Super Mario ship levels before a boss fight. Oh man, I love Super Mario games. It's probably one of the reasons I do what I do. Anyway, I recorded a bunch of stuff that felt right for the animations. Hitting wooden and metal boxes, floors, doors, desks, and more. Layered and timed together, and I think it works. After that, two spark effects appear, giving a sign that he's about to jump out. And finally, very simple, let's call them mini tornadoes. 3 sounds. Now, let's hear it all together. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you want me to do sound design for Phase 2 and the rest of the fight, give this video a like. At this point, it's just rude not to subscribe also. Thanks.